Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be testing out some of the new beauty products that I recently picked up. I have the Ritualistic Rose palette from Pat McGrath Labs, a new Blitz Trance lipstick. I actually have a few new lipsticks, so I'm just going to show you all of them. I have some Jane Iredale here, a few products that I've only tried once, so they're still really new. I'm just going to get ready for the day and share my thoughts along the way. This is day 2 playing around with this Ritualistic Rose palette. It arrived yesterday, and I had a similar first experience to the first time I tried the Bronze Seduction palette, in that it wasn't love at first sight. I expected these shadows to be really creamy, really intense, and maybe it's just because it's brand new, but I found them to be a bit harder and more sheer than the Bronze Seduction palette. I'm just gonna swatch these for you so you can see. They're really intense when you use fingers, but I tried using a brush with some of them and I expected them to be a bit creamier, more like this bronze shade. Let me go into that one now. And maybe that's just because it's a new palette and I just need to keep playing around with it, but I had a lot of fallout on my cheeks and I struggled to apply. I'm going to try to recreate the look I did yesterday using this palette. Hopefully now with some experience under my belt, it will go a bit smoother. Since there are no transition shades in this palette, I do have a new bronzer. This is from Jane Iredale. This is the Peaches and Cream. And they come with these little refills. This is the strangest bronzer I have ever seen. This was actually sent to me complimentary. I've already primed my eyelids with the Pat McGrath Labs concealer, so picking up a fluffy brush, I'm going into this shade right here, right on this side. It's this really pretty brick. I guess it's kind of a brick. And I'm just gonna buff that in the crease. I love any time I can use bronzer or blush in the crease. I think it helps tie the look together and look more cohesive overall. I'm picking up the palette now and using fingers, I'm going into this purple shade here in the corner. I'm gonna do my best to use fingers. I ran into the same issue I had with the other palette in that it looks really nice, but I can't be very precise. Now that I laid down most of it, I'm going in with this flat synthetic brush, and this is an old concealer brush from Chanel. And I'm gonna do my best to work that inside, in the little inner corner, carve it up to the crease, but really keep it on the lid. I imagine when these palettes are created, these shadows in particular, they have to be pressed so hard that when they're new, you almost have to work with them a couple times to get them going. Now I feel like I'm having an easier time. I've now picked up a Sigma Blending E25 brush. It's a little bit more compact, and I'm going into this bronze shade. This shadow's a little frustrating to work with. I feel like I get so much fallout. But in order to build it up, I just have to keep going in. If I were to use my fingers, it would give a nice smooth application. I want that in my crease, but I can't use my finger and get it to look the way I want it to look. So I have to use the brush, and it just kind of spreads it everywhere. Once it's built up, the color is really pretty. So I definitely like it. And I guess it is somewhat unfair of us to ask our eyeshadows to defy the laws of gravity. I'm going back quickly with my concealer brush to touch up the purple. I'm gonna blend it back into that brown. I want to add a little depth in the outer V area before we clean up our cheeks, so I am going to go into the Bronze Seduction palette. Using the same brush, I just kind of wiped it off. I'm picking up this deep eggplant purple. I'm just kind of wiggling that right here in the outer V. You could also use the dark chocolate brown in this palette, but I really wanted to keep the look kind of purple, pink, tie in these colors so that it would be somewhat different. My cheeks are an absolute disaster, but trust me, it's gonna come together. Using my finger, I'm going into this really pretty shade up here, and this is the big wow. Ooh. This is the best part of the whole palette. Moving on now to the face, I'm going to prime using this Farsali liquid glass again. The first time I tried it, I liked it, but I didn't really love it. I think I might have had unfair expectations, but I've used it several times since then, and I've come to really like it. I did a little less than a dropper full, and I'm just smearing this around my entire face. Anytime I've used this primer, I love the way my complexion looks. I love the way my foundation looks. Even hours later, I feel like I can tell a noticeable difference. Now, the only reason I didn't love it right away is because I was expecting this glass skin, really glowy effect. It doesn't really leave my skin looking incredibly dewy like glass, but it does have the perfect texture, just the best consistency to just grab my foundation and nothing moves and it just looks so smooth. And maybe it would give me that effect if I mixed it into my foundation. That is one of the ways it says you can use it. But I realized that I have a product that does exactly what I was thinking of, and it's this Kevyn Aucoin Glass Glow Face. This will give your skin that all over glossy look when you mix it into your foundation. And just like the Farsali, you can mix this into your primer, use it as a primer, mix it into your foundation. I don't think you can mix it into your serum. Like this you can mix into your skincare as well. So I'm just going to pump that on the back of my hand. Oh, do you see how thick that is? Now this is not liquidy at all. This is just like a pure luminous gel. And it doesn't dry down, it kind of stays balmy. Today I'm using Dior Air Flash, shock I know, and the Marc Jacobs Face 2 brush. I've been using this for my foundation for the past 2 days or so, and it's amazing! I can't believe it! Like, I don't know which brush I like better, the Face 1 or now the Face 2, and then of course there's still the Face 3. So I sprayed my brush with foundation. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of that glass glow and then apply this all over. I love the fact that it's kind of flat because I can get around my nose, I can get underneath my eye. So easy. Oh my goodness. Now this is glass skin. Or just fried chicken skin. I'm sure some people are looking at this like, what did you do to your makeup? Don't worry guys, it's just makeup. Washes off. I really doubled down on the glow today. I might have gone overboard. That's okay. Going back with a little bit more foundation. What's great about Air Flash is depending on how much you apply, you can still see your skin shining through. So it can be incredibly natural if you want it to be. I turned down the light so I can lean in. I'm not sure if it's going to show up on camera, but my skin is just reflective. I also have this Sarah Hatt Plump and Prime Lip Airbrush Primer. So I'm gonna apply some of that on my lips because I have 3 lipsticks to show you guys today. And I want my lips to feel nice and hydrated. Weird. It has a nice smell to it. It's almost like cinnamon. Doesn't feel minty, but it just kind of smells slightly like cinnamon. So this is supposed to prime the lips so that your lipsticks last longer, and it's also supposed to be hydrating. It feels nice, looks terrible. At least it's on there. We will revisit that later whenever I go to apply lipstick. I have another new product here that was sent to me from Jane Iredale. This is the concealer. I have the Circle Delete Shade 1. So there's a super pale shade right here, and then there's this skin tone. Now this is very sheer. I tried this yesterday because I had a little blemish on my chin, and it didn't really cover it up very well. It just kind of smudges around. But I think if you had any areas on the face that you wanted to conceal, that would be perfect. See, I can still see that. But I am going to go in with this light shade right here, and I'm going to apply a little bit underneath the eye. Under the eye, I don't mind that it's a little bit more sheer. It's just on the face. You know, if you're trying to conceal a blemish, you want coverage. Underneath the eye, it's kind of nice depending on what you're trying to cover. If you have really dark circles, you'll want to use this first as a corrector and then go on top of it with your concealer. I like the consistency because it feels really creamy and emollient. I like that it looks so brightening, and it actually has more of a natural look, even though it's a bit brighter. You know, I kind of like it. I was thinking about going on top with a little bit more concealer just to give me more coverage, but I think I'm just going to roll with it. I do want to set it with powder, though, because it's so creamy. I'm going in with my Givenchy loose powder. There's a lot. Whoops. I think it looks really pretty. I'm kind of shocked. I'm gonna do my best to just set my T-zone. I don't really want to set the entire face because I want to keep that glass skin. I have a feeling that this concealer is going to show itself before the end of this video. So if it starts to crease in an hour or so, I'll be able to let you know. I don't really love this as a bronzer. I tried it yesterday and it looked prettier than I thought based on these tones, but it almost looks better as a cheek topper or a blush, even a bronzer topper. I don't like it by itself, so I'm going to bronze with my Grwm Terracotta bronzer first, and then I'm going to go on top with this. I want to be really careful applying any powder products on top of my foundation since I went in with that Kevyn Aucoin balm. Sometimes, you know, if it's too tacky and it doesn't dry down, then any powder, anything you put on top is just like... And I used my Kiehl's hair mask this morning. I can still smell apricot. Like every time I turn, I get wafts of it. It smells so nice. It left my hair feeling really soft. Not quite as soft as the Kerastase mask, because that's the first mask that I did, and I noticed a huge difference. It was like going 0 to 100. This time around, my hair felt really soft, really hydrated, but it was almost like a really deep, nourishing conditioner. Wasn't quite the same level as the Kerastase, but it's less than half the price. I'm really happy with it for the price. It's 4 color treated hair, so I will probably alternate between the two. The only mask I haven't tried yet is the Verb purple mask, but I've been going in with purple shampoo, which is why I needed that extra hydration. So now I'm going to go into this Jane Iredale bronzer. I'm using a Chanel blush brush. I'm just going to swipe across the whole thing. It has this really pretty, almost mauve-y iridescence from this shade. I like it on the cheeks, but I don't think I want that as a bronzer. It's pretty to just use it as a blush instead. So to finish this eye look, I'm going back into this Ritualistic Rose. I have this tiny little precision brush and I'm picking up this purple shadow. So very carefully, I'm just going underneath the lower lash line. And it might help if you had a glitter glue. I don't currently own one, but that is on my list to order next. Now that I've been playing around with these Pat McGrath Labs palettes, I think it's almost essential. When I get back here to this edge, I'm just going to use my brush to follow along the edge, almost wing it out. I just wipe that brush off with my towel, so now I'm going into this yellow shade. Same thing, just picking it up as much as possible, and I'm going to pop this inside the inner corner. Next, I'm trying out this Marc Jacobs eyeliner. This is Pinky Swear. It's the extra thin fine liner ultra skinny gel. This goes on so much smoother than the light blue, which is so disappointing. Of the two shades that I picked up, the light blue and the light pink, I think I would probably use the light blue more. But I almost felt like I had to go over it and over and over it. And even when I finally get the color built up a little bit, it's still not really that noticeable or extreme. Whereas this one, it goes on really fast and easy. I don't have to build it up at all. Done. I skipped ahead off camera, but this is all you missed. I did black liquid eyeliner on top. I also filled in my eyebrows with this Gucci Brow Pencil 04. And I went in with the Gucci mascara. All that's left to do with eyes is highlight my brow bone, so I'm gonna go in with this pencil brush, and I'm picking up this light champagne shade right here, Bronze Seduction palette. But I just love this color for a brow highlight. And I have so many glowy complexion products on. I didn't highlight. I don't really feel like I need to. Last up is lips, and I have 3 new lipsticks, so I figure why not show you all of them. I'm going to begin with this Marc Jacobs No Angel. I have worn this before on camera, but I didn't really mention it or talk about it, and I used a gloss on top. So I just want you to be able to see what the color looks like by itself. My lips are primed. They feel smooth, they look really pale and strange, so I need lipstick. I think this is really pretty. I love this nude. It's far more cool brown than I had anticipated. The first time I applied it, I was like, oh gosh, I need a gloss. But I think with the right look, this is gonna be the perfect nude. And if you have a tan, like if you have deeper skin than I have, or if you have brunette hair, I am a brunette, but you know what I mean. It reminds me a lot of shade 62 Libra from Chanel, that lipstick color, which is one of my favorites. That might be slightly pinkier. I actually think this looks really nice with the eye look as well, because we have some color, the purples on the eyes. That the neutral lip looks really pretty. I'm gonna lean in. I like the way it feels. Maybe that's the Sarah Hat primer. This second lipstick I've also worn on camera, but I didn't mention it. And this is from Grwm. It's the new Sheer Shine number 7, the Rouge G lipsticks. So this is what it looks like. I picked up the nude. It's pretty. It's definitely light. It's intended to be sheer. I've worn this a couple times now and I like it so much more now. The first time I tried to apply it, I felt like it was really hard. Like, I know it's meant to be sheer, but I felt like I had to really just layer and layer and layer and keep trying to apply to get any color to show up. Now that it's not brand new, I think it goes on a lot smoother. I think this lipstick goes with the look as well. It's pretty neutral, not really distracting. The thing about the Rouge G lipsticks is you have to get one of the cases. They have so many beautiful options. It's worth having because then whenever you need to restock, all you have to do is pick up a new lipstick. Last but certainly not least is my brand new Blitz Trans lipstick. I have not opened this up at all. I'm so excited. I was waiting on you guys. This is the shade Naked Kiss. I fell in love with this gold glittery packaging. It's just so pretty. It looks nice. It looks very similar to the first one I picked up. I hope they aren't too similar. I'm gonna feel like a fool. Oh no. This one is way more frosty and it's a bit deeper. But still really pretty. Okay, good. Whew. I think of the three, this is the worst lipstick to go with the eye look. But I really do like the color. Which was your favorite? You guys have to let me know. I think I liked the brown the best. With different eye makeup, I think this is going to be perfect. Oh, I think that is so pretty. I love the sheen. The very last thing I have here to try is this gloss from Jane Iredale. This is the shade Beach Plum. I think it'll look nice on top. Yeah, it's perfect. I'm back. My makeup is now complete. My hair is done. I finally ran my fingers through the curls. I like them to set for as long as humanly possible. It really does extend the life of the hairstyle a couple days, so I don't like to touch it for the first few hours. This is the finished look. Overall, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It's always kind of interesting playing with new products for the first time. It can go either way. I know I shared my thoughts as I was applying, but I do want to touch on a couple highlights just before I leave you guys. This Marc Jacobs Face 2 brush, Heaven Sent. I love it for foundation, and I thought I would use this for other products, other creams. I'm just going to use it for everything, but I love this for foundation. It's so smooth and easy, and the shape is just ideal for getting around the nose, even going above the eyebrows. It's amazing. I want them to come out with a face 4. That'll just blow my mind even more. I love these brushes. I will do my best to find them wherever they are online, and I will link them down below in case you'd like to check them out. This concealer, I really like it. It's so natural. It hasn't creased. Doesn't give a ton of coverage, but I think if you like something that's really creamy and isn't drying and isn't going to look really crepey, this is ideal. And you get 2 shades. One is a nice little brightener, and the other one is more of a face tone. So you can get brightness under the eye, spot cover around the face if you need to. Based solely on the texture and the creaminess, I thought this was going to be an utter disaster underneath the eyes. I had no hopes, no expectations. So it's kind of blowing me away right now. I prefer more coverage usually, so what I'm gonna do is maybe go in with this brightener and then go on top with just a little bit of concealer and maybe see how the two work together. I think it looks really nice. I love all of the lipsticks. This new Pat McGrath Labs, beautiful. The Grwm, the Marc Jacobs, stunning. Even this lip primer felt so nice. I don't really think it's plumping. I didn't feel like it was plumping, but if you have a lot of lines around your lips, or if your lips are always really cracked and they're not really smooth and even, you can apply this underneath your lipstick and it will instantly smooth them. It's also supposed to help the lipstick last longer. This is my first time trying it, so I can't speak to that claim. This bronzer is really pretty. Not really a bronzer, but nice cheek topper blush. The palette, let's talk about it. This is the only product here that I'm sort of just not obsessed with. As much as I struggle to apply some of these shadows, I'm really happy with the overall look, and I don't think I own any other eyeshadows. I certainly don't own any other palettes that would give me this effect where I could achieve this look. This is it. That completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it and it was helpful to watch some of these products in action. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. If you have any tidbits, any advice, tips, pearls regarding that palette, drop me a comment. I would love to hear from you. If you have thoughts on any of the products, let me know. I love answering your comments and reading your comments, Everyday May has me working nonstop, so it might take me a little bit longer to get back to you, but it's one of my favorite parts of YouTube, so I will absolutely get to everybody, but just be patient with me. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned, everything on my face, down in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.